Danke schön, darling, danke schön. Thank you for all the joy and pain. Picture show, second balcony was the place.
The New Colossus is the sequel to the critically acclaimed Wolfenstein: The New Order by Studio Machine Games. This new installment continues the story of B.J. Blazkowicz, an unstoppable killing machine, fighting his way in a world where Nazis won World War II. The narrative director and other members of Machine Games have mentioned how they drew inspiration from Inglourious Basterds when making The New Order. However, we believe The New Colossus has more things in common with Quentin Tarantino's particular vision of the Second World War rather than the previous Wolfenstein.
Thank you for walks down Lover's Lane. I can see.
Following the events of the first game, Blazkowicz and the resistance group known as the Kreisau Circle must travel to the United States to start a revolution, so they can inspire the American people to join his fight against the Nazis.
Caroline. The top brass clack tales how the Nazi war machine reside.
Yeah, well, the Nazis moved it into your safe-keep set.
For this, they must find Grace Walker and Superspesh, the leaders of the liberation movement in the US.
Shop in New Mexico.
And this is why you need this for?
What on earth is that?
This is a portable nuclear bomb. We're gonna take out the Oberkommando, cripple the Nazi leadership, and destabilize the fucking country and let the people know that the fight is back on. Blazkowicz, load up. I'm sending you to Roswell with this.
The resistance will also require the help of Horton Boone, a reverend leader of another rebellious group located in New Orleans, now a Nazi ghetto for all those who oppose the regime.
Man, fuck you! I got kids on the way, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna raise them in a world run by these Nazi assholes. So what's it gonna be, you hillbilly, degenerate moonshiner, Bolshevik cowards, goddamn traitors? Ten hut!
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain, and I'm putting together a special team, and I need me 8 soldiers. 8 Jewish American soldiers.
Tarantino's 2009 film Inglourious Basterds has a similar plot but with some differences. In the film, a killing squad known as the Bastards must travel to Nazi-occupied Europe. However, their mission has little to do with freedom and a lot more to do with just killing Nazis.
We're going to be doing one thing and one thing only. Killing Nazis.
And like in The New Colossus, viewers get to meet another particular set of characters. We are introduced to Donny Donowitz, alias the Bear Jew, a sergeant with a particular knack for beating Nazis with a baseball bat.
Teddy fucking Williams knocks it out of the park! Fenway Park on his feet for Teddy! Fucking ball game! He went...
Everybody in the German army's heard of Hugo Stieglitz.
We also meet the infamous Hugo Stiglitz, played by German actor Til Schweiger. Til Schweiger also served as the real-life inspiration for Blazkowicz's appearance in the Wolfenstein reboot. This particular bunch will have to make contact with Lieutenant Archie Hickox, a secret British agent working for the Allies.
I must say, damn good stuff, sir. Now, about this pickle.
And German spy Bridget von Hammersmark, both working undercover in a top-secret mission that could potentially put an end to the war.
However, there's something you don't know. There have been 2 recent developments regarding Operation Kino. 1, the venue has been changed from the Ritz to a much smaller venue.
Norma's changed at the last minute. It's not very dramatic. Why the hell is Gerbil doing stuff so damn peculiar?
It probably has something to do with the second development.
Which is?
Der Führer is attending the premiere.
A mission that unknowingly involves Shosanna Dreyfus, a French Jew who managed to escape from Hans Lander, a terrifying SS colonel and the main villain of the film. But we'll get to that later.
Remember your doings in the last 2 years.
Aside from killing Nazis.
Did you notice that Shosanna shares her name with Seth Roth's favourite pet? That cat with the body of a monkey, or a monkey with the head of a cat. Not entirely sure which part controls what.
I'll give you some clothes.
Send them to me when you're done. No, have you seen Getaway? Hast du gesehen? Hast du gesehen? Simpson?
Although Lieutenant Aldo Raine cannot be defined as the lead character in Inglourious Basterds, due mainly to the additional characters and plot lines in the film, he does have some things in common with B.J. Blazkowicz.
She didn't give me one. Right. Off with the mask. Show me your lizard face, motherfucker. Super special, lower your weapon before I break your arm or put your lights out.
You know where I'm from?
Yeah, where is that exactly?
Maynardville, Tennessee.
For instance, they are both American. Lando is from Tennessee, and BJ is from Mesquite, Texas. They both lead a team specialized in 2 things: guerrilla tactics and killing Nazis. They both have an extensive body count, and are infamously known within the German army for their cruelty.
For gruesome murders that number in the thousands, you have been found guilty, Mr. William Joseph Blazkowicz. It is rare, even for a man of my job description, to come face to face with true evil.
A cruelty that has gained them even a nickname amongst the Nazis. Aldo is called the Apache, for he takes his scalps of his victims.
I'm a slave to appearances. Scalp Herman.
And BJ is called Terror Billy, because, well, he's gotten very good at terrorizing Nazis.
But my daddy says I'm not supposed to play with you.
There is a main difference between the two, though. In Inglourious Basterds, you barely get to know anything about Aldo's past before the war. Nothing is said about his life, his military record, or the mysterious scar on his neck. Whereas Blazkowicz's past is one of the main points in the new Colossus' storyline. In one of the levels of the game, you visit the farm where BJ grew up. His mother is present in a few moments during the story. You also have to suffer the abuse of his racist father.
Mama! Daddy!
What's the goddamn ruckus?
Annie and Howie, they followed me. They pinned me down. They took my pocket knife.
What the hell is wrong with you? You let them take your property, they're gonna walk all over you till there's nothing left. Now, I gave you that pocket knife. It was in your care. It's your responsibility.
I respected your parents.
You will do no such thing, Sophia. Oh, you gonna let your mommy fight your battles for you, are you, boy? Now, you go on out there and take back what's yours, and you are not setting foot in this house again until you do.
Both characters do have one thing in common. The two of them are terrible with languages.
Corretto.
Gorlami? Per cortesia, me lo ripeti ancora.
Gorlami.
Augenblick, warten Sie. Aus Frankfurt. Sind Sie Frankfurter?
Ja, ein Hotdog.
So ein komischer Kauz. Die spinnen, die Amis. Hotdog.
Süß wie Portwein. Ein Rotwein sollte nicht nach Port schmecken. Sowas würde ich nicht mal meinem ärgsten Feind vorsetzen.
Helga! Warum verschwenden Sie Ihre Zeit mit diesem Banausen?
Because, my dear, incompetent Shriner, he's not a waiter. He's a spy! Do you really think I would be impressed by your atrocious German? Now give me the folder, Franz!
Mi scusi, con me?
Gorlami.
Ancora una volta.
Gorlami.
Well, I'm very familiar with you and your family. I have no way of knowing if you are familiar with who I am. Are you aware of my existence?
Yes.
This is good. Are you aware of the job I've been ordered to carry out in France?
Yes.
Please tell me what you've heard.
I've heard that the Führer has put you in charge of rounding up the Jews left in France, who are either hiding or passing for Gentile.
The Führer couldn't have said it better himself.
Like BJ and Lando, the main villains of the New Colossus and Inglourious Bastards share a few traits as well.
Bürger des Großreiches!
For instance, they both hold high ranks in the Nazi hierarchy.
Eine Woche ist es her, dass unsere tapferen Soldaten...
Both are psychopaths who unexpectedly explode into outbursts of extreme violence.
I think not. I think you're just another Habt ihr das gesehen?
Jesus Christ! Fuck me!
Überwacht den Meister!
And the two of them are extremely tenacious at their job. In fact, they are so good at what they do that both manage to find and capture the main characters at some point of the story.
The Kerl im Weißen smoking.
Meine Damen und Herren, wir haben ihn!
Frau Engel even achieves the impossible, to execute BJ Blazkowicz. You could also say that both villains suffer a similar end. The two take a nasty blade to the face at the end of the story. The new Colossus and Inglourious Bastards share some common places as well. For example, in both scripts, there is a subplot that involves the making of a Nazi film.
How I look?
Like a walrus. Don't forget your luggage.
In Inglourious Bastards, this story revolves around the screening of the film Stolz der Nation, starring Frederick Zöller and played by actor Daniel Brühl. A short film directed by Eli Roth, who also played the Bear Jew in Inglourious Bastards.
Fuck a duck!
Remember, you are Jules Redfield, professional actor, traveling to Venus to audition for the part of William Joseph Blazkowicz. Now, you are summoned by personal invitation, so security should be minimal. Break a leg.
In the new Colossus, BJ must infiltrate the Venus station as a famous actor in the Nazi film called Das Ende alles Bossen, directed by no other than Adolf Hitler himself.
Places, quickly! Heil Hitler!
Heil Hitler!
Helene! Kommen Sie. Haben Sie das gesehen? Fremde in meinem Büro.
In Inglourious Bastards, Hitler is killed along some of the most important personalities within the Nazi organization during the final act at the burning of the movie theater. In the new Colossus, you can also kill the Führer, but BJ will be taken immediately afterwards by Nazi soldiers.
Mr. Redfield, would you step into the box?
Nein! Erschieß ihn!
Additionally, some of the sequences in the new Colossus also have a structure similar to what we've called the Tarantino moments.
God damn, it's a pretty fucking good milkshake. I love strawberry milkshake. It's perhaps my favorite American thing. So simple. It's just milk and ice cream.
These moments are usually characterized by long conversations between the main characters, followed by sudden violence.
Oh my God, das bist du. Das bist du! Blazkowicz, shut the fucking front door!
Do you know what a bounty hunter is?
No.
These type of sequences are not present in all Tarantino's films, but you can definitely spot them in films like Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, or Pulp Fiction. Check this out. Long conversation. Sudden violence.
What'd you just do to our sheriff?
Long conversation. Sudden violence.
Stiglitz. Say auf Wiedersehen to your Nazi boss.
Hey, kids. How you boys doing?
Long conversation. Sudden violence.
When I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Place has gone to shit.
See the same structure in quite a few dialogues in the new Colossus. Long conversation. Sudden violence.
Who'd you call? I heard everything.
Who in the hell did you call?
Schauspieler.
Diese Männer wollen für die Rolle von William Joseph Blaskowitz vorsprechen. Es sind Schauspieler.
Long conversation.
Oh, no, mein Führer. I'm from Arizona.
Sudden violence.
How's he supposed to talk to me when he's got that gag thing covering his mouth?
Not my problem, it stays on.
Oh, Christ.
Long conversation. Sudden violence.
Schnitt! Cut! Zimmermann, Sie haben Talent.
So, what are your thoughts on Wolfenstein and its inspirations? Do you agree with our video?
Nein, 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 nein!
Did you spot anything that we missed? Be sure to have a look at our other videos and tune in again soon for more gaming mayhem.